All right, just finished up the workout. About to head home. Just had a protein shake. Gonna go home, get some fruit, things like that. But man, that shoulder pump was good. It was a gnarly pump. I really can't wait to showcase that to you guys in the next, honestly, 3 more weeks, to be honest. Because again, the vascular was just crazy, and like also too, the pump was just going crazy too. But with that being said, though, like, well, honestly, 4,300 calories. It's been about 5 days doing 4,300 calories. We just been pretty much chilling at 234. So I mean, it's really honestly working. Like, that's crazy to think. Like, if I could just keep going on, and I know I can't for as long as just because like I'm about to shift into a different season. But man, if I keep going on, like I probably could have 5,000 calories and still probably be at 237. And I'll say 5,000 calories would probably be the maximum amount of intake I would have if I were to keep going this round, things that. But other than that, like, I'm living. Like, it's 4,300 calories. I'm living 600 grams of carbs. It's just not sticking to me. It really isn't. Now, if I let's say if I go into cut, and then, I do something, I change the season, and I shift back into bulking again, will it be the same? Who knows? We don't know what that future will look like. We'll go back into bulking. Will I eat the same? Will I be a little under? Who knows? It all just depends and things like that. But it's like, when you're in a position to enjoy what you're doing right now, just enjoy it. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the process. Because right now, it's crazy thing. I would never think I'd be at 4,300 calories, and at the same time too, be at a position where I'm 20 pounds less than what I normally was at before. When I was at 255, I was having the same amount of calories at 255, and just seeing I'm having the same amount of calories, 20 pounds less, is bizarre, but also too is freaking exciting at the same time. So I want to leave you to know with that too. But this is a big thing I want to talk about right here. This shit got me freaking laughing out loud for sure. As someone commented talking about why I wear sweatpants, why I wear hoodies, why I don't showcase my kind of physique when I'm working out. And he was like, the value is being underrated. I'm like, at the end of the day, I'd rather be underrated than overrated. And here's the thing, and this is why you guys are not successful in your journey too, because you guys value the overrated part. You guys try to look successful. You try to look, be the part where it's oh, you're doing X, Y, and Z things, or you try and get the validation from other people that hey, you're on this journey, you're doing X, Y, and Z. But in reality, in yourself that you're gonna fail because you can't stick to it. You're not building the consistency. You're not focused on that one thing. When it comes to the underrated, it's you're just being you. You're not doing anything different. You're just doing what you need to do, and that's what the most powerful about being underrated is because no one talks about it really, but then also too no one's being in the same position. You're doing your own way differently and things like that. So it's being underrated is more different, and especially when someone commented me being underrated, I'm like, okay, good dude. That's cool. I mean, you're just saying that because you're just jealous and you got self issues on yourself and things like that. And and also too, a lot of people just don't understand, with me wearing the sweatpants and the hoodies, again, I don't really necessarily, again, need to showcase my physique. I already know what my physique looks like, and I already know to the point, the work, the dedication, the work ethic that I put in, I already know what it looks like, so I don't necessarily need to showcase it. I'll showcase it when I need to, but other than that, I don't need to because I already know what my body's looking like. I already know how it's operating, things like that. So when it goes back to wearing the sweatpants and the hoodie, it just more ties helps me, increase my metabolic pathway a little bit more. And the reason I do that is because again, with me working out in a low, let's just say higher temperature than what my body's used to, working in a harder environment, my body has to kind of work a little extra to cool itself down. And it's not just because of sweating, but your body's also working and burning to try to cool the body off from overheated temperature. So when I do this, that's the one reason for it, is to help increase the metabolic rate a little bit better and things that, along with every other things. But again, I'm not saying all you gotta do put on 3 fucking hoodies, 3 fucking sweatpants on just to see the change in the metabolic rate. This is a small minimal increase on that. Like, it's not a big increase, but it helps a little bit more to increase that metabolic rate to keep your body cool while working out and things like that, right? There's a sense like when you see people like, wear like hoodies or sweatpants when they do cardio, it's the same reason. It helps keep the body cool. It also helps like increase the metabolic rate a little bit more. So that's the reason. But it goes back to being underrated because a lot of people just don't understand the concept of being underrated. And again, they look at the more flashy things. They only look at the 5% of the overrated part, right? But they don't see what I talked about before, the 95%. So when you're trying to like go on your journey, let's just say like you're trying to lose the first 5 pounds, right? You're starting your journey and you're trying to lose the first 5 pounds, right? You're trying to focus on so many things that people tell you that's overrated, right? Like calorie deficit, workouts, like do like 3 hours of cardio, all this bullshit. But what you really got to focus on, the most underrated part, is you got to focus on that one thing. And so what does that one thing look like? Well, let's just say, for example, like you're a person that, you having takeout and soda, like 4 times a week, right? You having soda every single day and you're having takeout 4 to 5 times a week. All right, one thing we can focus on is we can reduce the amount of takeouts we can have in that 1 week, right? We can do so by, limiting it down to 2 to 3 to start, and also 2 to the point where we're transitioning those takeout foods to more of whole, nutritious, balanced meals. The second part, it kind of goes along with that, is like with the sodas as well, right? Like if you're having pop, like just said Pepsi, for example, and that's 150 calories, right? The simple and easy switch that you can focus on for a consistent amount of time for like a month straight is you can replace that with a Diet Pepsi, or you can replace that with the water. So over time, you're creating yourself in like a technically called deficit in a sense, without really thinking about you're being in deficit at the same time, because you're making positive changes. And that's the one thing you're focused on, is making positive changes. So it's like, what can you really do to focus on and make one positive change that's underrated? And that's the thing right there. And that's the thing a lot of people miss, because they try to look at the more like polished, the more materialistic thing of what it needs to be. When in reality, you got based on like where your position at, where you're trying to get started, and where you're trying to go. Again, if you're just trying to lose the first 5 pounds, that simple switch, you're starting to notice a bigger difference already, because you are making better choices. And 2, you're already putting yourself in a kind of like a calorie deficit in a sense. I don't like to use that term, but just to help you understand, is because like over time, like you're making a simple switch of like, 1, have more nutritious balanced meals, and 2, you kind of 150 calories on top the additional beverages you're having. So it's something you got to think about too. This is why underrated is more important than being overrated. So when people like tell you like, oh, that's overrated, things that are like, or you're underrated, I'd take that as a compliment, being honest, because they just don't understand the behinds of what you're doing. They don't understand like your mechanisms, your methodologies in terms of that way, right? So let them say that shit. Let them say you're underweighted. Just do what you know and do, because at the end of the day, you know exactly what you need to do to go from point A to point B, nothing less, right? So don't let other people get in your way or interfere on where you're trying to go. All right. So if you're trying to start your fat loss journey and you're trying to lose the first 5 pounds, 1, figure out where you're figure out where you're lagging, right? Is it having too much takeout? Is it drinking like a lot of pop? Is it, you're not, maybe you're like more sedentary than being active? Are you like, are you just not really following the nutrition program? Things that like, there's so many different ways, but just give you a few. And it's something like, again, like you probably see at the time, like you gotta be in calorie deficit. It's like, honestly, like the calorie deficit is the reason why you're still staying stuck, because you're focusing on that overrated part. Calorie deficit is so overrated. Whereas opposed, I was just explaining to you those 5 things about being underrated. That's going to be the golden ticket for you to succeed and for you to see the first 5 pounds being lost and things like that. All right. So when you're doing so, understand that part is like really focus on what's that one thing you can focus on. And is it meal prepping too, right? Maybe making sure find a time to meal prep, at least 3 or 4 days to make it easy for you, right? Set aside 30 to 60 minutes of meal prep. They say, whatever the case is, do so. And I think that's a tip I'll leave for today, is just like, it's crazy to think like so many people just try to jump the gun so quickly. And you just got to understand, like, you didn't like you didn't focus on that one thing to get out of shape, right? Or you didn't focus on that overrated part to get out of shape. It took you that one thing over time, period on period, to get yourself out of shape, right? It's going to take you the same amount of time, if not longer, to focus on one thing to get yourself back in shape, to have that dream physique time after time after time. So you gotta understand that part. You know, yes, I get it. We all want to be in a specific position, but if you don't focus on one thing, I guarantee you, you're not going to go far. I know what that feels like, because again, for me, like, I've experiences in my own business and things that, like, it's been taking me 6 months to really find clear messages and really find clear marketing for myself on what I need to do for my business and things that it's like sometimes it takes longer, you know. Yeah, like, do we all want to have, like, you know, like, let's just say lose those 30 to 50 pounds? 100%, right? And for me, I got goals too and things that, but sometimes you don't focus on one thing to really craft and really build that foundation, really understand, really, you know, take it to the next level. Is like, then those other things are not going to be important to you, or those other things are not going to go as well because you don't have that foundation. So it's like, you really got to understand to build that foundation, and once you build that foundation, I guarantee you everything else just comes into play, where it just becomes so simple and just so easy that it makes you think twice, and like how like stupid simple is, that you were just thinking about just like complicated the entire time. So really, just like, again, be the underrated, don't be overrated. Focus on that one thing. Figure out in your journey where you need to start. Figure out where you would like to, what's the most challenging part, which challenge you want to tackle, and do that for a month. I guarantee you, within that month's time, you see a whole completely different person of you, and you see a whole completely different changes of you as well. So I'll leave you with that. Yeah, kind of just pause on that. I'll just leave you with that. I'm about to be headed home, about to get something to eat, clean up, do some work. And yeah, that's about it for today, ladies and gents. Tomorrow, we got legs early in the morning. I'm playing some soccer. And I think about doing the food challenge. That's TBD, but I'll probably have a game time decision tomorrow if we're doing the food challenge. And that food challenge is what was supposed to be the pizza from, you know, last week. So the stomach is feeling better, thankfully, thanks to that. So again, we're chilling 234, so everything's coming along. So TBD on that food challenge, but I think we're more rocking towards that. But again, I'll let y'all know. Have a definite answer for you guys tomorrow. Other than that, you guys have a blessed Friday. Be safe tonight. I'll catch you tomorrow.